What is up, guys? Sean Don is back with a technical analysis. Here we have the newest SDTC technical membership member, I suppose. SDTC member Andrew Allen joining us for his competitive season this year. Excited to have you on, Andrew. If you guys are interested to joining SDTC, SD Throws Club, whatever you want to call it, then go to my website, SeanDonnelly.biz, sign up for a technical membership, an elite membership, programming membership, either whether it's throws or lifting or both, which is the elite membership. So check it out. Go sign up. Let's get to work. But Andrew, yeah, let's take a look. You sent me 5 throws, and this was my favorite of the 5. You can really see the ball, the orbit kind of grow towards the sector into this final turn. The amplitude grows, and it's this was my favorite of the 5 you sent. I think the cleanest. So I assume that this is what you're aiming for in the other throws. So yeah, let's break it down. Overall, to start, and hopefully we got a high frame rate video, so this is going to go a little bit slower than usual. Alright, I would say, I mean, I'm not a fan, it's really up to you, but I'm not a fan of this whole, like, in all your videos, you look down to see where your foot goes. I don't think you need to do that. I would like to say you should just be able to feel where you're going to put your foot. I know you don't really practice in a ring, but what you could do is just get a piece of wood or something like that and cut it in the shape of a, what would it be? Cut it in the shape of like a hammer insert and put a weight on it, like a 45-pound plate on either side, like right here and right there, to hold it in place. That way you have something to practice on. So when you go into meets, you're used to that feeling of having the ring there, and that way you don't kind of get freaked out by it or feel confined. But I understand, necessity. You gotta do what you gotta do. But so I would say generally just try to keep your eyes up. I don't really think there's anything bad that happens because of this. I don't think you need to do it. I think you should be able to trust your body and feel your body in space. Next big thing is in the winds. Okay. You do a good job. Like you want to face this 270, your right side of the sector, or right side of the circle. Sorry, face the right side of the circle more. So like you see how you open up your shoulders, and then your shoulders almost come square. Or they do come square to 0. Try to keep your shoulders turned back. The ball's doing the right thing. It's moving around you well, but you want to keep your shoulders turned back to 270. And because you do open up, this left elbow comes super high, which is pretty unstable, relatively speaking. And then it just throws you off balance a little bit. So I think if you kept this left elbow just a little bit lower, and you brought it across your chest more rather than up and over, you'd be able to turn your shoulders back more and connect with the hammer earlier. Like you're doing a good job turning your shoulders back, but you don't really quite connect with the hammer until like right about there. You don't catch it early enough. So once again, try to keep facing 270. Maybe turn your head, look to this 315 degree sort of area, or even back to 270, and that'll help connect and make your winds feel a little bit more natural, and you'll feel a little bit more balanced, and everything will get better. So same thing here, turning your shoulders back, but then as you come back through on 0, if you're square at 0 again, and then that left elbow comes high, comes up across your face. You see this bicep coming across your face instead of this elbow kind of going across your chest. You keep your hands up good, but then same thing. This position here is pretty good. The ball is relatively flat to the or parallel to the ground, but then the ball kind of comes crashing down on you a little bit. You let your hands drop, and so this is where this whole head facing 0 thing and shoulders facing 0 thing kind of comes to bite you, because you can see as you come through 0, your head's totally turned like literally 90 degrees ahead of the ball. So if you go back to 0, or when the ball's at 270 and your head is at 0, like I said, you're kind of creating that tension with this left side already right off the wind. So if you turn your head back, open up, connect with the ball earlier, and wait for it to pass longer, you'd have a much more connected throw. And probably feel much more effortless, but right now it looks like you're kind of playing tug of war with it. Another thing that I see is his right elbow kind of pulling down and dropping. And you can see as the ball comes through 0, your right arm doesn't really extend until there. Up until that point, your right arm does have a little bit of bend in it, and that's a sign that you're not exactly connected to the hammer. Ideally, you want to be at least fully connected by 0, but the earlier, so let's say if you can get it like right here or even like right there, that'd be even better. So try to get that right arm extended earlier. Like I said, try to reach out in the direction of 270 and think about extending or having your right arm extended as the ball comes through 270, and then it will straighten out by the time you get to 0. Big thing is, though, keep your eyes on the back of the circle while the ball comes through on the entry. Wait for it to pass. You want to feel the ball almost go past you. Whereas right now, like I said, you're just leading with that head, that shoulder. You're going to shift back to this right side because of that. So like your body isn't quite connected to the hammer, so your body pulls back, left hip goes back, left shoulder goes back to create tension. As the ball goes left, you can see, so and the heel start's a little bit different, it's a little bit harder, but ideally you want to keep your hip like right here, and then you want it to stay there. You want your right side to kind of go around your left side. You want the ball to go around this left side axis, but instead you kind of shift back, you shift your hips back, and it's just not the most efficient position. Yeah, you can throw far doing it, but it's the better your posture is, meaning your hips are in like a posterior pelvic tilt, and your shoulders and hips are in a straight line, your knees are bent. You want your torso to be perfectly upright. You don't want to sit your hips back at all. That's inefficiency. So the better posture you have, the more efficient you are, meaning you put the same amount of force into the ball, you have the same strength levels, you're going to throw farther, it's going to feel easier. But yeah, like I said, because you don't wait for the ball to pass enough, this left side shifts back. So like you don't want this hip to move until the ball gets to about here, whereas you can see it starts moving about 5-6 frames earlier. But like I said, starting off the heel makes that a little bit hard because you do have to shift back to get to the heel. So what you need to do is, as the ball comes through 0, lean backwards just slightly with the shoulders. Drive this right leg backwards, not backwards, but yeah, I guess backwards in the direction of wherever the hammer is pointing. So if the hammer is pointing right here, you're driving back in this direction. If the hammer is here, you're driving back in that direction. It's very subtle timing, but you just got to use that right leg more. As you can see, this left side's just doing too much right here. This right leg's not working at all, and that's why that hit shifts back. If this right leg was working, this glute, quad, whatever, would push that knee out over this toe to get that hip, keep it exactly where it was if this right leg was doing enough. But otherwise, you can see there's a little lift in your hands too. Don't lift the ball artificially. Relax, let the hammer go around you, let it take its natural orbit. Don't force it. You can see you even get this shrug here. You want relaxed shoulders, meaning shoulders forwards, but you don't want your shoulders to come up and turtle, kind of like you do here. As you can see, your traps are up by your ears. You want to relax your shoulders down and forwards, not forwards and up. Because you lift a little bit here, okay, the ball's going to kind of come crashing down on you as you catch. And I mean, this is not a bad catch position. You catch the ball at a decent time. But your hips, like I said, are sitting back. You want your hips more forwards. Or you want this left shoulder more over this left hip, over this left heel. If you did that, left shoulder, left hip, left heel in one straight line, that would be really nice. That'd be efficient. And then you'd be able to keep that. Otherwise, when you catch, you see how this left shoulder drops down. That's a sign that you're pulling with that left shoulder. You're creating tension with that left side once again, rather than waiting for the ball to pass and staying nice and upright, chest up, level shoulders, level hips. Whereas you can see you have this downward tilt here. Your hip is going to shift back again. You're doing a good job of turning with the ball with your lower body, like it's turning with it. But this hip shifting back and that the head especially, that left shoulder though, leading, you're not waiting for the ball enough. You need to be more patient. You need to be more still. Waiting for the ball, I think, is the best cue. As you can see, as ball comes through 0, your hips are sort of squared with it, but you're back away from this left side. So once again, like I said, this left hip should be more over this left heel. Left shoulder's down, and your head is just turning ahead. You can see you're just doing everything you can to pull that ball around rather than let the ball do its thing. As you come through the second double support, you can see you have just a little bit of lift again, especially here. Once again, shoulders come up towards the ears. Try to keep your shoulders down, chest up, head tall, and you don't quite. Actually, you do work the ball long enough, but then you can see like right here, you're starting to get this kind of lean, and then you go to catch, and once again, this posture has gotten worse. Usually, it's the opposite. As the throw goes on, people's posture gets better because that's kind of the more natural power position of the body. Think like clean and snatch, your hips come forwards, not comes forwards, but the bar and your hips kind of meet in the middle, I suppose. And you get a nice triple extension, whereas right here you're kind of like, this would be like if you're doing a good morning while trying to do a clean or snatch. Push your hips way back, just wouldn't be optimal. You're not really getting any extension at the hips, which means you're missing out on a lot of power from your core. I mean, once again, shoulders are nice and relaxed, but this posture just isn't great. You need this left side, left shoulder, hip, and heel to be more aligned. Otherwise, as you come through this double support, you can see you're heavy on this right side. So this posture right here, you can see your center of mass is going to be over this right foot. If it was any more over here, you'd probably fall over, but you have just enough balance, meaning like your right foot is just enough in the right place to hold you. But it's a little bit too much. It should be kind of 60-50, or like 60-40, 50-50, whatever you want to call it. You need to be more evenly dispersed. I would say more weight on this left side would help you out a lot. Once again, that goes back to left shoulder over this left hip. Because of that, because you don't get over your left side, this left foot's going to slide, glide, flop, whatever you want to call it. You see this left foot come off the ground for about 4 frames, which means you're not applying any force into the ball. Or transferring force, I should say. Because of that, this left side comes off, and your body's like, I have no stability, I'm only on one foot, I'm going to eat shit. Then you pull this left side even harder. But, that being said, this is, like I said, so this is the best part of your throw right here, and this is what you need to do in every turn. Right foot's turning with the ball. Well, actually, it doesn't really turn at all while this left foot comes off, but once that left heel gets back down on the ground, you can see this right hip extend up towards the ball. There's a lot of tension in your upper body. You got to relax more. Use some toss and sauce, or use some tough skin or some sort of spray adhesive to put on the back of your glove in your hand, so you can really relax and let the arms go. But you finally get your right hip into the ball. Yes, this left side does shift back, but you can see this right hip kind of extend and drive towards the ball, and you step towards the sector. And that's why. And see, so this is finally like a decent catch. It's improved from the last turn, at least. Left shoulder could still be more over this hip. Your hips could be a little bit more open and square to the ball. But let's see how early you come up. Not super early. But you can see right here your hands lift again. Hands lift instead of letting the ball go long out to the left. Because of that, that's why you kind of over-rotate with the lower body a little bit. Hips need to be more square to this ball. And then, so same thing here. Right side's doing a good job turning with the ball, and you really get your right hip into the finish. You get both your hips into the finish. Boom. Finish is great. Right hip going into the final turn is great. Everything else can definitely be improved, and you're definitely going to throw farther. So, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. We got to work on your posture, hips over, or hips underneath your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, torso upright, bent knees. Don't sit your hips back. That's going to be a big thing we need to work on. Another thing is going to be this wind. Don't let your elbow come so high. That'll help with stability. The more stable you are, the more force you will apply into the ball. And better posture means better efficiency. And then just relaxing your arms by increasing the radius of the hammer. So meaning from like your shoulders through the ball, this radius right here. If you relax your arms more, it means longer radius, means better connection, which means better efficiency, better transference of force, better rhythm, better timing, everything. So the more you relax your arms, the more you wait for the ball to pass, everything else is going to get better too. So we definitely got to get you to relax those arms more. So, all right. I think that pretty much covers everything. A lot of stuff in here. Just take a look at it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll send you an email. And, I mean, if you're watching this, you will have gotten the email by now. And, yeah, I'll cover some finer technical points and kind of my basic technical model. And we'll go from there, man. All right? Excited to work with you, help you out. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If anybody else wants a technical analysis or wants to join SDTC as a member, technical member, whatever, elite member, then go to SeanDonnelly.biz and sign up. All right, thanks for watching. Sean Don, peace and out.